I mean, the eyes are pretty crucial to bring any non-human character to life, even a human, to be honest. And I think lots of kind of deep fakes and stuff, it's always the eyes that are the giveaway. Even in that, what was it? Was it Rogue One where they brought back Peter Cushing as CGI?
Yeah.
They'd obviously spent countless hours doing the little saccades and eye movements and stuff to try and make it look real. And even then, with all that, and it did look amazing, I'd say the eyes still give it away as just not being human. So getting the eyes right for the puppets was absolutely key. For Stingray and Thunderbirds, the AP Films / Century 21 gang went hunting for the best possible eyes for their puppets.
Right.
They found those glass eyes courtesy of a man with a very famous name, Richard James. Would you like to hazard a guess as to the name of the man who made the eyes for the Supermarionation puppets?
A very famous name. It wasn't Bill Gates, was it?
No, try one more time, and then if you don't get it, we'll give you the answer.
Was it Thomas Schaffernacker?
Schaffernacker eyes. Sounds very convincing. No, it was. It was, in fact, as many Podsters will know, William Shakespeare.
Get out. Really?
Not the same one, not the Bard.
Oh, really?
But the Bard of Eyes.
Right.
William Shakespeare. So, Mr. Shakespeare, let's call him Bill, shall we? Provided the eyes for the majority of the Supermarionation puppets, and they had a really amazing kind of lifelike quality. They were quite expensive, very finely detailed, and I think they're part of the key of why the puppets of the Supermarionation era were so engaging.
Yes.
I believe that Mr. Shakespeare closed up shop in the 90s or the 80s, and a couple of people bought up a large stock of his eyes.
Well, okay.
Which have been used at various points on various puppet recreations through the decades.
Yeah.
Now, lots of people these days use Nissl, which is the current kind of eye maker of choice for non-human characters. But the eyes are incredibly important. Now, Richard Gregory, our dear late friend, who learnt all sorts of stuff from people like Christine Glanville and learnt how to make the puppets look really alive, brought something really interesting to us when we were doing Firestorm and other bits and pieces, and that was oiling the eyes.
Yes, right.
And oiling the eyes gives a kind of wet, lively glint to them and makes the lights reflect in a really nice way.
That's right.
Which brings them to life.
Yes, I remember doing the very same thing on our Space Precinct masks, oiling the eyes. Absolutely.
Now, on Space Precinct, obviously, those eyes are not human, certainly, for the Tarns and the Creons. So, I know the answer to this. Do you know how those eyes were produced?
How they were produced?
Yeah.
I've no idea.
Well, I can tell you because I painted some eyes
I thought that was coming. Yes,
that were used on screen, in fact.
Yeah, right.
In a couple of the jelly heads. So they would have, for Space Precinct, quite large, obviously the right size for the alien heads, Perspex hemispheres.
Ah, right.
Now, the eye designs were painted on the inside of those hemispheres to give the kind of glassy effect,
the depth,
rather than because if you painted on top and then tried to varnish them, they'd have a texture or whatever.
Yeah.
But the way you have to paint them, obviously, you have to paint the pupil first and then layer backwards in the reverse order of what you want to see.
Right, so of course. It was quite painted from the inside.
Yeah, it was quite a difficult thing to do, but they did an amazing job. Obviously, Christine Glanville painting a lot of those eyes, and Richard doing a fair few as well. But I thought they were really, really effective. And then Richard bringing his eye oiling technique to that. But that, I never look at Space Precinct characters other than possibly Morgo and think, anything's wrong with the eyes. The eyes are actually really engaging in the amount they move. True. How is that wearing an animatronic mask with those eyes whirring about so much?
Yeah, I think I mentioned before, it was impossible to hear anything for a start because those little tiny motors, the minute they were switched on, they started to buzz, and every time the eyelids blinked or the eyes moved, you'd have the extra noise as well. I do have an eye fact about a separate thing. Wallace and Gromit. Now, their little tiny eyes, their little beady eyes they have. Do you know how they used to move those? Probably not now in the days of CGI, but in the early films and TV shows.
I think I know what you're going to say. Go on.
Yeah, little holes where the pupils are. And they used to use matchsticks to subtly move the eyes. They'd stick the matchstick into the hole and move it very subtly and then take their frame and then move it again and take their frame. But of course, black on black, a black hole on a black pupil is very difficult to spot on the screen.
Nice little non-Anderson fab fact there. Although
there you go.
So much inspiration for Wallace and Gromit came from shows like Thunderbirds, I think it's only fitting.